Okay, hey folks, my name is Mark Locklear, and I shared a video earlier in the week that I did for AB Tech, but I wanted to make one specifically for the Caldwell Community College folks. It'll be real similar. A lot of the content is the same, but I just wanted to make sure you saw your version of Moodle. Moodle's quite a bit different, in my opinion, than what it is over at AB Tech, so I wanted to make sure I chatted with you all some and made sure I gave you a special message. So again, as I said in the other video, I'm Mark Locklear. I'll be teaching CSC134 C++ programming this semester. I'm a web developer, an IT project manager, sort of do all things tech. I work for a small government nonprofit from my home in Asheville. I'm over in actually Candler, which is right outside of Asheville. But so even though I'm a little farther away, this course is 100% asynchronous. That means that all of the content is there, all of the work is there. The teaching and instruction will be all online. There's no formal meeting times. And if you need support, you can contact me via email. In fact, I would say that's my recommendation as a first line of defense for any issues you have. And then if we can't work it out via email, then we can set up a time to have a Zoom chat. All righty, so I am going to I'm just going to share my screen. Okay, your shell should. I'm still not 100% knowing if I'm seeing everything you're seeing. Hopefully, you're seeing everything similar to what I'm seeing here. If not, let me know. I may check in. I've already chatted with one student just to make sure he's seeing what I think he's supposed to be seeing. But this generally is this should be what you're going to see. You can start off with the opening section here, and sort of the big things here is anytime I send announcements out, I'll be doing that inside the announcements forum. Your official course entry verification, that's to verify you're a student in the class. There's only a couple of you in 19, it looks like only 2 that haven't done it, so I think most of you are on track there. If you're part of the 2 that haven't done it, do it though, because you'll be in danger of being dropped from the course. And then the other big thing is this how to be successful in this course video. Really quick, it is read the chapter, watch the screencast, do the coding exercise. Do those 3 things, each chapter in that order, and I guarantee you'll be successful in this course. And then there's some information about me there. Okay. The code, the student, the files you'll be using for this course or in this student files or code download. You all are using the second edition of the book, which is slightly different than when I built this course shell. So some things may change some. So we're just going to have to play that by ear each week. If something doesn't look right, and I mean, I'll be reviewing the assignment each week, but especially if you're working ahead and something doesn't look right in the assignment based on what you're seeing in the book, definitely let me know, because there's some modifications I'm going to have to make for this second edition of the book. This shell was set up for AB Tech, and we're still using the first edition of the book there. You all are using the newer edition of the book. So yeah, I just need to we'll just need to be on the lookout for that. The projects document is the other big thing, and we'll talk about that when I talk about assignments. When I give you assignments each week, some of the assignments will be the book code, the exercises in the book, and others will be from this projects document. I actually loaded this up on Google Drive just so it's not a PDF. It allows me to make notifications. But just be aware when you're doing the coding assignments each week that at least most of the time, at least one of the assignments will be from this projects document, not from the assignments that are actually in the physical book. So just be aware of that. Okay. All right. Let's. So as I said, this is a completely asynchronous class. All of the assignments are 100% open to you right now. You could sit down and work through the entire class over the next week if you were so inclined. I would not recommend doing that. I would recommend staying on the schedule that we've got and take 1 chapter per week. That's going to be an optimal way for you to sort of soak the information in over time. But just know that all of the assignments are out there. There are due dates on the coding assignments. The coding assignments are due each Friday at 12 p.m. So 12 noon on Friday every week. You've got a coding assignment, so there should be no question about that. The assignments close at 12, so if you need to submit it after that, you need to send me an email and let me know what the issue is. Generally, my policy is not to take late work. I understand life happens, so if you know you're not going to be able to make that assignment, that due date in advance, you can send me an email, but try to stick with that because content comes hot and heavy each week. We get a new assignment, so you don't want to get behind there. If you know you've got something going on next week, or maybe you've got a heavy testing schedule in the coming weeks, it's okay to work ahead. As I said, all the assignments are there, so feel free to work ahead if you need to. Okay, let's take a random assignment here. I'm going to go to chapter 4. So chapter 4 is how to code loops. You can see this date is always the Monday of that date is always the Monday, so that's sort of when we're beginning that chapter for the week. And then the assignment due date is here too. That's always on a Friday. Generally, you're going to have again the chapter. So as I recommended on the How to Be Successful video, read the chapter first. You've got a screencast here. Generally, those are anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes long. I just do a short lecture on the concepts, and I'll usually do some kind of coding there. Lots of times I'll choose one of the assignments you're doing and sort of get you going on the coding there. And then in this case, I'm including some screencast code from time to time, depending on what I'm doing in the screencast. I may include the code. So if you want to play with it, you can. And then the assignments, each week you have a quiz and a coding assignment for each chapter. The quizzes are open 100% through the entire semester. So again, my recommendation is to do those along with each week as you cover the chapter, because that information is going to be fresh in your mind. But there are no due dates on the quizzes, so you've got full flexibility there. Again, the coding assignments are the ones that are due each week on Friday at noon. Let's look at an example coding assignment. Generally, you'll have three exercises within the coding assignment. Generally, the first one is a gimme. And when I say it's a gimme, I mean you've already got the solution for it. Generally, the first one, so the assignments that are in the exercises that are in the book, you've got the solutions for all those in the code download. You've got solutions for all of those. So for instance, in this one, we see I ask you to complete exercise 4.2, and then I say, try to complete this without looking at this solution. So again, it's just a way for you to test yourself. I wouldn't spend 12 hours on those or anything. Again, you've got the solution, so I'm just going to throw this out there. Maybe you spend 45 minutes or an hour on it and see how far you can get, and then look at the solution. And then notice the second assignment I've got here for chapter 4 is to complete exercise 4.3 in the book. And then I say, in addition to completing that exercise, you're going to add these other new requirements that I'm adding to it. So they're modifications to the existing code. Again, I would just take like as your starter code, use the assignment in the book, and then go in and modify that to add whatever modifications I'm asking you to make. And then notice here, the third one is to complete any of the chapter 4 student project exercises from the project's PDF. So again, this is the projects link that I showed you earlier, which is actually a Google Doc. And in fact, I'll modify that so it doesn't say PDF, so it doesn't confuse folks. But again, so those are assignments that you've got to create from scratch. You're going to create a new C++ program from scratch based on the requirements you get inside that document. Okay, so let's go back here. Okay, trying to think what else I want to say here. I'm gonna pause for a second. Okay, so I will, as I said, grading assignments are due each week on Friday. I generally grade on Friday. I sort of have my schedule such that I have time blocked off on Friday. So normally you'll get feedback, I'll grade, and you'll get a grade on the assignment each week. So you get pretty quick feedback there. If you need help, as I said, email is going to be your primary avenue. And let me say this about that. Meeting by Zoom is okay, and I want to, that's a viable option for us, and I want to help you out in that way. Although I am going to force you to, let's try and solve your issue via email first, and that's not just because I'm being lazy and I don't want to meet over I don't want to meet over Zoom. It's because, listen, more and more, especially for those of you who want to enter either the technology field or more specifically coding and software development, more and more of those jobs are remote, and even if they're not remote, even working in a physical location, often a lot of your communication is going to happen over email and then chat tools like Slack or Microsoft Teams, those sorts of tools. So you need to know how to communicate over. You need to know how to communicate in the written word, and also to be able to sort of form your thoughts in such a way that when you have issues, you can get help that way. Because once you get out into the real world, whether it's a coworker you're asking for help, or you're posting to an online forum with a problem you've got, or you're communicating with a support technician who's in California or India or wherever they're at, you're going to have to do it over. You're going to have to use the written word to do it. Whether, again, it's over some type of chat platform or over email. So there's value. There's value in us communicating that way. I will mention there's 2 writing assignments you have this semester. One is a forum assignment where you'll be, I think that one I've got you listening to or the forum assignment is on gender inequality in technology. So I'm asking you to read an article, and then I'm giving you some prompts to post on. So there's that. And then you've also got just a paper, an assignment, a writing assignment where you'll actually write a paper. I'll have you listen to a podcast on barriers to entries to new developers, and I'll give you some prompts and ask you to submit a paper, just a 1-page paper on that. Okay, I think that's all for now. And again, I think we've mentioned this. I'm new to Caldwell Community College. I've been teaching at AB Tech for over 10 years, right about 10 years now. So I've been doing it for a long time. But this again, we use Moodle there too, but this Moodle instance is definitely different than what we use. So there may be some challenges there for me sort of warming up to this version of Moodle, but I'm sure within a few weeks we'll be good to go. And then I think that's all I'm going to say for now. So again, if you have issues, definitely let me know via email. For this week, again, you need to complete the that getting started assignment. Make sure I get that right. The official course entry verification. So again, there's 2 of you that haven't done that. Get that done. And then chapter 1. I've got a little video in a section here in chapter 1 about that. Let's look at that real quick. Again, this is due on Friday. So, you can decide what platform you want to use. Again, if you're Windows, you're going to use Visual Studio. It's not Visual Studio Code. It's very confusing. I had a conversation in a Slack team about that with some folks who, like, the icons look very similar, but they're very different things. You need Visual Studio, not Visual Studio Code. That's if you're on Windows. If you're on a Mac, you're going to install Xcode. And then Replit is an option too. I had pretty good luck. A handful of students used Replit this past semester at AB Tech, and they had pretty good results with it. So sort of mileage may vary still, but it's a lot easier. Replit is just a web-based interface. You can do all your programming there. You can save your files. It's a pretty robust platform. But it's not quite the same. As there's a few hoops you have to jump through. But anyway, I'm just going to leave it up to you to make whatever decision on that, and just let me know if you have questions. And then real quick on the submissions, I only need the .cpp files. That may not make sense to you yet, but when you write so C++ is a compiled language. And so when you write code in C++, it's just text. And then there's a compiler. That's what all the installing of the platform does, is then that code gets compiled into bytecode. But when you submit it to me to grade, I want the source code. And so the source code lives in this .cpp file. And so don't submit your whole project to me. I'm going to give you a 0 for the assignment and ask you, I'll still let you submit it to me via email, but I'm not going to, I'm going to give you a 0 for the assignment and ask you to just send me the .cpp files. So please do that. And also follow directions about naming too. I mean, it just speeds things up for me. I have a lot of students. I have a lot of grading I have to do. And if it saves me a few keystrokes or mouse clicks, it's helpful. And having first name, first initial, last name, and then the chapter is helpful for me. So when you name your folders, you're going to dump all your .cpp files in a single folder. You're going to rename that folder, and then that's what you're going to attach. That's what you're going to submit for the coding exercise. Okay, I'm going to stop there. Let me stop here. Okay, so again, I'm excited to have you all in class and excited about the learning that is going to take place, and I will see you online.